So, anyways.
You have to do it here? You weren't live, you know?
No, I mean, I have to bleach my hair tonight and,
Oh,
and cut it and stuff like that.
yeah, we are now live, Christine, to TMI. Okay. Happy Valentine's Day, Christine. Happy
Happy
Valentine's
Valentine's
Day
Day to you.
to our listeners, to our subscribers, to those who want to subscribe, those who have already subscribed, those who listen to the replays. Happy Valentine's Day. I always say that every day should be a day of love. God showed us how to love, and we need to love every single day. Even if we're not getting love back from people, our co-workers, our neighbors, whatever, you love. Your heart, you love. But it's good that there's a special day to share that special extra something. And then
Those extra
husbands can remember
focus.
this. So husbands can remember they have a wife, and young men can remember they have a girlfriend, and girls can remember they have a boyfriend. You know, and vice versa. And friends can remember each other and wish each other happy Valentine. So the whole day has been thing. Christine sang a song for me, y'all. You know Christine Extreme, right? So she sang, right? So I thank you. I thank you, right? And it's a wonderful day to be in love. It's a wonderful day to love each other. It's a wonderful day for just a wonderful day. Because we are here and we are alive. And in Trinidad, atmosphere is hot because there's somebody thing hot set up next door, right? The atmosphere is steaming hot because it's carnival season and we have any strangest weather. That
Yes.
would you check the car please? The strangest weather and there's a funny sprinkling of rain. Have you noticed the
Yes.
droplets of rain? It is not like
No.
real drop. It's almost as though it's supposed to be like snow. I mean, it's almost like Lord. My throat and the car. It's almost as though like it's like a sprinkle of it's supposed to be white. It's really funny.
Really?
And it's very chilly. You haven't been outside.
I've been outside, but I've been cooking, so that kind of kept me a little bit warm.
Definitely. Excuse people, that is my neighbor's car alarm. Why is going off as soon as I take it? Oh, it was quiet all the time. Okay, so let's hope it'll be quiet for the rest of this thing, this conversation. So we're gonna do our opening and get into our topic of the day. Okay? Yeah. So welcome. I am Cheryldian, and as you all would know by now, or some of you might not know, some of you might have forgotten, I am an international keynote speaker. I'm an author, I'm an image consultant, all kinds of stuff. I wear so many hats. But I am not one of those people who is a jack of all trades and master of none. I'm master of I stay in my corner. I can do many things, okay? But I'm really into speaking, empowering women, right? I'm dealing with images, personal branding, which is what my talks are mainly about, personal branding. So even though I say I wear many hats, I'm not one of, I heard one of my coaches talk about this morning. Stop being a jack of all trades and master of none. I have honed my skills and I know who I am and what I'm doing. This is the Thelma to my Louisa. I almost ever one. Christine.
Well, hi everyone, Christine Francois. I'm an executive wellness coach and business development consultant, formerly a banker and a corporate communications consultant and event producer. Still, I'm able to do all of those things, but you know, there's a season for everything, and my passion for people is just boundless. So, yeah, excited to be with the Louise to my Thelma. I don't know, but
So
you get the picture.
whatever. Randomly, anyway, we can decide who is Thelma and who is Louise.
I
Because
think
with
we
Livin and
can.
Shirley, right? Livin and Shirley, the Shirley to the Livin, she just passed away in real life, you know, the person
Yes.
is the her, right? So
Yes.
we can still claim that Thelma Louise is not alive anyway. So whatever. We're gonna have fun, right? Today is a nice topic. Today, and today is almost, even though it's new, It's like a spin on what we spoke about the last time about dress codes and stuff. Remember our
Mm,
last video, we did talk about women being appropriately dressed and stuff. And where has all of this gone? And then my daughter Melissa was telling me that, Auntie, she said you need to go to parties and see what these girls wear. They actually are walking into parties now with thongs. This is not their carnival costume. We expect them to wear the bathing suit and the swimsuit and the feathers and the costume, right? So you expect to see that. But she said no. Regular carnival parties, they are now going, they're wearing stockings and thongs and walking into these parties. So I guess it's the type of party you go to, you'll see that kind of thing.
yeah.
That's where women have reached in terms of their morality. And I know people don't like to talk about this because every time you say something that people don't agree with, you're going to be attacked. But I'm willing to be attacked for that because I think it's one of the missions I have to really tell women we don't have to do that to get the attention. We don't have to. So that brings me to Super Bowl on Sunday, last Sunday. No, I don't watch it, but now I ain't watching Super Bowl, right? But I know the Chiefs won because, well, of course, it had noise in my house or whatever, right? And it's a
Right.
pretty by Patrick Mahomes. Everybody like, oh, he's so cute, blah, blah. He led his team to victory, blah, 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 right? So that was good. So I understood that. There's something new. But my son knew I wanted to see the halftime. I usually always want to see the halftime act because there's always somebody I like to look at. I love when J-Lo and Shakira performed. I love when
Yes.
Lady Gaga performed. So I'll go and look at it. So he called me in to see Rihanna. Of course, she's Caribbean like us. And I always support my Caribbean people. And what Rihanna did, and I've been noticing her. I've been watching the Rihanna. First of all, before I start talking about Sunday. Rihanna had her fling, she did her thing, but she explored but everything, and then she settled with a young man who didn't have a child here and one here and one there and one here and one there, and didn't do that. He had no children before her. His father has Barbadian roots, so it's a kind of rooted thing, a connection, and she has settled with this young man who I really didn't know before her. That's the truth because I don't listen to rappers that much. The only rapper I really, really love is LL Cool J, right? And don't ask what he ever rapped about. I just like what he looks like. That's it. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, right? So they connected. They are in a full-fledged relationship, right? And they had their first baby a couple of months ago. She's
Hmm.
having a second baby for him, and it's her first and her second, and it's his first and second. So they are a family. And you can literally feel the energy of how she chose this man. And I like to give Jack his jacket. It's a savior of Trinidad. Give people the due. To me, Rihanna was never really a great singer or a great performer live. I've seen her live more than once. And she, whatever. She became very popular because she's young, she's pretty, she had the sash and everything else. And her songs sounded really good on you, really. But in live, to me, she was never really all that, like how some people could perform and like Bruno Mars. Ugh. He could sing anything and dance all day and do run out of breath. I don't know how he does that, right? But he could do that. Some people, right? But her songs sound good. So she has a nice hit list, a nice list. So when she was pegged to perform at the Super Bowl, I was very excited because she's Caribbean, young black woman. And I mean, I love her energy with all her businesses and stuff and all of that. So I'm a follower, I'm a fan, right? Without having to say whether I'll go to her concert, but I'm a fan, I'm a supporter. She sounded very good, I must say. I guess most of the things were pre-recorded. I think it was, I don't think she was singing live. Maybe not all of it, but I think. But whatever, it sounded good. I don't think anybody goes there and sing full live things, right? I don't think so. But what I liked about her, she brought a whole new spirit to that thing. So all of those performers, like the Cardi B, I call their name, and the Meg Thee Stallion and all the others, who just feel that they just have to be extremely vulgar. Even Lizzo, who is very talented, because I took the time to listen to her sing, and she can sing. If you never heard her, Google one of her songs and listen. The girl has a beautiful face, and
Yes, I know
she
her.
has talent, right? She can sing.
Yes.
But for whatever reason, she feels she has to wear ridiculous clothes, and because I think the culture makes them feel as though if they don't do that, they wouldn't fit in with the crowd, right? But I like her, Rihanna. You don't ever see her. I cannot say I have seen Rihanna dressing in a very vulgar way. Never. Never. Always like, she might have a little cleavage, a little something. Never extremely vulgar. Always good. But Sunday, she showed them how you can go to the Super Bowl be a superstar on all these stages, have your performers around you, dressed in a whole outfit without taking her clothes off. There was no extreme twerking, nobody but cheeks was showing, there was no obscene language, and she performed the hell off that stage. She was good. And I listened to the comments, right? Some of the comments were like, oh, Riri was good, because that's true. And one person said, but she didn't do anything. She didn't do anything. And I'm thinking to myself, I wish I could have reached through the podcast and asked the person, what do you mean she didn't do anything? So because she didn't bend over and take her clothes off, right? And twerk and behave, and she never hosted a woman there with all the body outside and stuff. You all feel she didn't. She performed, and guess what? She's having her second baby. Nobody knew that was her reveal. She unzipped the romper and it's the whole the belly. So that was her reveal, right? That was her guest at the thing. Because you didn't bring her guest. That was her guest. Her second baby, her baby bump. And she was there, and she did dance, and she did perform, and the performance was clean. All of her dancers were clad in these. They look like, I know America keeps saying they have these balloons floating over the skies and stuff. America was paranoid or something. They all could tell some rocks and people saying, always somebody was trying to attack them. Whatever. I'll still come and visit, okay? But they said all these things floating over the sky. So I said maybe one of them landed, and because they look like little moon men. They look like little aliens in the white outfits, dancing all around her. It was fabulous. If you haven't seen it, Christine or any of you have not seen that, just Google Rihanna's 2023 Super Bowl performance, and you will see how fabulous she was. She was good. It was really good. And I thought to myself, and I heard another podcaster say that she set a standard. So all of those, including Beyonce, who everybody feels as though she fell from the sky and that she's golden or whatever it is, who always comes half naked, she showed them, because she went to Dubai recently, that is Beyonce, and she dressed properly. She could not go naked, right? So and she performed, I'm sure, the hell out of it. So you know what? She can do it. Rihanna is now showing women, we need to come back to ourselves. We need to come back to please look as though our parents casting our children Christmas when we were babies. Come back to some kind of thing, because everybody, the clothes have to be ridiculous. Sometimes you want to know, is that a gum with piece stuck here and piece stuck there and there? What is that? You know what I mean? They go to the extreme with the fashion. I like the fact, to me, and what I like about her, she stands her ground, because even when she did her last lingerie launch, the Fenty launch, and she invited Johnny Depp to walk, and they want to attack her, because even though the man was found not guilty, they have the haters who feel as though she should dismiss him because he's this and whatever it is, and she never even answered them. And you know what? Her show broke the internet. Do you know that? That thing broke the internet. So it means that you don't always have to give in to them to get the support that you need. There are still sensitive people in the world who would look and say, oh, I heard somebody say, wow, Rihanna's on a standard there, boy. That's different. Calm, singing, umbrella, diamonds, all that thing. Calm, singing. She paused a little bit to fix the powder her nose. Of course, it was a Fenty thing. So she paused it. So that a little product placement for her, like, powder her nose and hand it back with a smile on her face. She looked pretty. She looked gorgeous. She looked just like a young pregnant woman, and she was fabulous. Well, of course, this morning I'm listening to yesterday I listened to a couple of my YouTube people, so I listened to, and the fans are going crazy because Chris Brown, thank you. Welcome to whoever's in and listening to us. Welcome to our stream. We're happy to have you. Chris Brown apparently sent a heart to her and told her, well done, right? And they find he shouldn't be speaking to her.
Why?
Right? Because of the other incident years ago, right? Which she has forgiven the man about, and she spoke about it on Oprah. I won't go into details, but she literally almost said that they both were responsible. She didn't say he was right to do it. I will never say he's right, but right to do what he did. If it was my son, he's still probably hearing my mouth about that. But the thing is, she owned up to her part in it, and they actually reconnected one time, and then they went apart again, because you grow and whatever it is. But they had a song together after that, and I think they still talk to each other. She has no problem with him. What are they? These people who are just, that's part of the topic today, which we'll go on later. What is wrong with these people, So I don't know if you have anything to say about that, because I know you told me you didn't really look at the Rihanna performance. So I don't know if you want to add anything to
Yeah,
what I just thought about that. Yes.
I do. I actually, and thanks for that introduction because there's several things that really leapt out at me as I was listening to you share about your own observations with regard to Rihanna. And just a couple of things jumped out at me. You know, you think about motherhood, you think
Mhm.
about how do you want your kids to see you in the future because they are, once things go on the internet, it lives there forever. So what are you going to be are you going to be comfortable in years to come for your kids to see you perform? Those are some of the things that, as a mother myself, those are things that come to my mind. I'm thinking about a level of maturity. She's no longer in her 20s. She's no longer a teenager. So as she matures, there are things that she would be looking at because I do believe that Rihanna is a very strategic thinker,
Like,
right?
I'm telling
So
you.
she's a very strategic thinker. She has, yes, she entered into the industry through music, but as many other entertainers have done, they've got clothing lines, they've got perfume lines. They are looking to be, and who knows, maybe in the future, she's looking to be an international speaker. Maybe, maybe like Angelina Jolie has become a UN ambassador. Maybe she has her eye on that into the future, 5, 10 years into the future. If you have those things, how are you going to impact the world? These are things you have to make decisions on now, right? So I'm thinking extremely strategic, very motivated, and a level of maturity. And I made some notes here. You know, you're looking to at someone who has, maybe not for all of her years, but predominantly a Caribbean upbringing. And there's a lot to be said for a Caribbean upbringing. Yes, we came from a predominantly colonial sort of background, and definitely in Barbados, there's still a lot of that, more so than in Trinidad and Grenada, etc. But I think about, you know, when we were growing up, if you did something wrong, you probably were going to get, I'm sorry, folks who live in other parts of the world, we grew up getting spanks, okay? And not the girdle,
Yes.
not the girdle. We got spanks. People who are older than I am and older than you, I will tell you, when their mother got annoyed, and this is not and this was what we called corporal punishment, you know. um but there was a level of decorum that was demanded. My dad, um you know, now deceased, Bajan, Barbadian, so there's a level of, you know, just a different kind of way of an upbringing, and I know you two have Barbadian roots as well, Cheryl. So the last thing I want to say, and based on what you are sharing, I love, there's a quotation saying that I always share with people, and clearly this is something that Rihanna is demonstrating. A leader, a true leader, at times must be willing to stand out there on their own, irregardless of what the world says. So hats off to Rihanna. Um, you know, I just think as a young mom, she is being very intentional. She has a great mindset, and she's on a good path. So, you know, I'm really
Yeah.
happy. I did not see the performance. What I did see crossing my social media were articles coming across about, you know, she broke the internet. It was so fabulous. I haven't had an opportunity to have a look at it as yet, but definitely based on this conversation, I'll definitely take a look. But kudos to Rihanna.
It's only 30 minutes long. Take a minute and look at it so you have your own feeling about it. But the whole
Yes.
point of this is that she has shown that she doesn't have to be where everybody else is, right? And recently, I think 2 days ago, Forbes, they always in people business and their money thing, right? She is one of the wealthiest women in the world as an artist. She is
Yes.
now worth either 1.4 or 1.5 billion dollars, right? Which none of which not the percentage of that came literally from her makeup line. The makeup line
Right.
God did that for her, right? The lingerie line did a little something, the music did a little something, but that and she see wisdom. She know her strong point. Now she knows she can still go and perform, people love her. But that's not her strong point. She doesn't have like a Mariah Carey voice. She's not a Whitney Houston, right? She's not even a Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus could sing to hell. That little girl, I mean. I hope she's at
Yes.
love too. She can really sing. Her new song, I could buy myself flowers. Let me tell you something. That's like the anthem all over the every time everybody is there singing some dancing. It's like because it's catching makes sense. It makes
Yes.
sense. So they have voices. You know what I mean? She's okay, but she doesn't have that kind of voice, right? I also think Beyonce does not have that kind of voice either, but she's well loved. But and every time somebody wins something, like last 2 weeks ago, Harry Styles won the album of the year, the Grammys, and people came out to hate him. Oh my God, they were so upset, right? So I say, have they listened to Harry Styles? Not only is he charismatic looking, his looks, he's very good looking, great personality, apparently a very nice person. What everybody all over the world has said about him. He's very
Yes.
intelligent in his interviews. He writes his song. His songs are songs you could actually recite them. The lyrics that make sense. And he performs his songs. And he has a good voice. So you see, when people could sing like that, there's no, like John Legend. You can talk. John Legend could sing. He could sing. Bruno Mars could sing. I could call these singers. They're singers and they're singers. Jennifer was not a great singer either, but she could perform. Her dancing make you forget whatever. If you hear a bad note in that song, she could perform, right? She has that Latina that dancing. Remember, she started off as a dancer, so she has
Yes.
that about her, right? Aging like fine wine. I mean, she's a dancer. So you have to know your strong point. And Rihanna probably will. I have a great album that people still buy anyway, and I can remake it anytime I want and add some songs that you know what? I don't really need to be making a whole lot of songs. I could definitely just, go be a mogul, I'm a mother now, I'm a wife now, and she's always in Barbados with her family. They show a picture of her at church with her family in Barbados. She goes there regularly. They go to church together. She has just decided, you know what? Time for family, time for maturity, time to be a woman. And she's not that much older than the others, the Caribbean and the others. Eh? She's still in her 30s. She's still a young woman. But I
Yes.
like the fact that her mother, I don't know how close mother and father, I think because she grew up with both of them. And even though she went to the when she was early teen, I think it was, they still had her,
Yes.
they're the ones who raised her, right? They're the ones who raised her. So and everybody's had their little wildness a little bit. She did her little while, she came back right back in, and she said, I just love where she is.
I
So
think what I want to
that's,
add to that, Cheryl,
yeah.
what I want
Mhm.
to add to that is in terms of utilizing her access i- of the music industry and then pivoting to do all those other things. It's just leverage.
Really,
She's
smart.
leveraged exactly. She's leveraged her access point and was able to pivot in a very many different directions. And the one thing that I've always been fascinated with for those who are extremely successful is how they manage their money. Because so often you hear about, these amazing athletes, footballers, you know, in any given discipline, and then you hear that the accountant stole the money, and I'm sorry, it happens. People are people, but you look at people, especially in the younger demographic, and clearly they are taking notes from the mistakes of their predecessors and really having a finger on the money. And I can only imagine what she's going to be able to do to, add her voice. I mean, who knows, Cheryl, if Rihanna has her eye, let's say in 20 years' time, 15 years' time, on being the next Prime Minister of Barbados? We don't know. But
She's
certainly
already,
this
she's
young,
already an ambassador. She's already an ambassador, yeah. And there's already a
exactly,
street name after her, a school in her name, and something else. She's already there. She's right up there because she respects her
exactly,
island so much. She goes back there and gives back so much to them. That
exactly.
and I think part of her doing this too is because maybe because she was embraced by Mia Mottley, the prime minister and stuff. So she has to be an example with them. Right? They have embraced her, right? And I think because of that, well, not because of that. I mean, I guess that's speculation. But I feel
Speculation, yes.
part of her maturity came from they recognize me, they love me. I am now somebody young Barbadians girls can look up to. Let me be. Some just say maybe that's part of what it is. But whatever it is, I am
Kudos.
really very pleased to see
Very
her.
impressed.
And the haters need to stop hating and stop saying, "Don't you find she didn't do anything?" Well, okay, maybe then they'll get somebody to talk free and take the pants off on stage. But she's not that kind of performer anymore. She's not going to do it. Okay, and I'm very proud of her. Because women need to bring back their dignity. And I'm saying this to women in Trinidad and Tobago who will be playing Carnival next week, Monday and Tuesday too. You need to pull back your dignity. We don't need to expose our whole bodies and bend over and let a man enjoy himself inside of your body for free. All in the open street like if you're a dog. I've seen it and it happened. And that's why the government has put things in place. Any lewd behavior, they could be arrested. So they want to challenge them and say, who could you tell me what is lewd or not? But let me tell you something. I have seen it, right? And I don't know if it's alcohol, what it is, but this man is eyes closed, he having a good time. He doesn't have to take his pants off, right? Because he could feel his instrument is right there, and your bottom is right up on it. So he's having a good time, and you're there in public, in the open. I hope that
Oh
some
my
of them
Lord.
catch themselves. Well, you have never played mass something, so you don't know about that. I could tell you about the playing carnival and stuff. So I'm making me like, what's wrong with you? I went to jazz on the hill in Sampton a couple years ago.
Mm,
And some of the workers who they were working, they were in blue polos and stuff, and they were working by the bathrooms and different things, right? Just working around. So
sure.
after time, I guess they must have got free to come and by the stage. And they had to move to them. This girl, she came and sat up of gyrating, what Trinidadans call whining, what Barbadians call walk up, what Americans call twerking, same thing, right? Moving her waist, and all the boys in that group, each one was taking a turn on her. And then come and tell her, no. So that people all behind you look at that, that's your behavior, and she kind of like look back and like unoblivious to people watching her. There's a culture, there's a thing, because they feel that's what is seen on television. And they feel that's what the people, and because Cardi B and them are really rich. They have money. They don't like Rihanna, but they're rich. Because their behavior is being applauded by people. So I need to get off of them a little bit because I don't want to give them anything. Rihanna did well. She was fabulous. And this chat today is brought to you by Christinefrancois and Cheryldian. Christinefrancois is a
Wellness coach and a business development coach as well.
all right. I'm an international speaker, I'm a trainer, I'm an author. We sponsor ourselves until we get there where we have sponsors. We are our own. We are our own drum here. So I want to chat a little bit about today about another current affair. Alex Murdaugh. Have you heard of him? He's on
Yes.
trial now for the unaliving of his wife and son.
Mm-hmm.
So I listened to a panel called the Behavior Panel. It's a group of 4 guys. 2 of them were in the military, so they now teach body language and whatever. And the other 2, one teach with the G5 summit and different things. They have the different parts of it that they do, right? But they all
Right.
teach body language. And while I listen to them, I'm always, wow, when they talk about certain things to look for people speaking. And they did a breakdown on that man. And when because I saw the video of him first, when the police went to his house, when he found them not there, not breathing, and it was the car crying, and I thought he was emotional. But when they broke it down, I looked at him, I was like, oh my God, what an actor, not even a good actor. But they were showing you how the emotions were just leaving his forehead. So it was like for a second. And then when he was giving the police officer a side glance every time whenever they got quiet, maybe to see what they were doing. And they showed the part of when he became comfortable, when he figured they were accepting what he was saying, when he became comfortable, and his
Right.
breathing And you say, look at his breathing, how he becomes different. And I'm amazed at that kind of thing. I would love to learn that in depth. Because it would be nice when you're speaking to people to know, to understand body
It's a
language.
good science. Yes.
It's a fabulous science, really fabulous. But he came from a very, very prominent family in North Carolina.
Yes.
North Carolina. A family of judges and all in the law. Big, massive law firm. Not saying people speculate where they get all the money or they got all the money legally, but that's speculation. Big law firm, well respected. His father or grandfather's picture was up in like our Hall of Justice, was like
Yes.
there. Right? For now, for his child, they've removed the picture. They just took the picture down. He just honored his family name in such a way. Because first of all, he embezzled millions from his company, from his partners. Right? Turned out he had, but his drug problem is not one that will take money. It's opioids. I mean, still wrong, but still bad, but still. So that's an excuse, the drug problem he had. But I think they just found out about the money that was missing. And his maid fell down some steps in his house and passed on. And he had insured her for whatever it takes, whatever money it was. And he said she tripped on the dog. Right? She tripped on the dog, okay? And she fell down and she passed away. But the insurance money that he insured her life, according to somebody, I want to be a maid in his house. If I insured for life, then I good, right? Insured her life. And never, when she passed away, never gave her sons the money from the insurance. So he took that as well, right? And then the son, the one who he supposedly did away with, was driving a boat, because that had the money, a yacht. Underage driving a boat, drinking everything has camera things these days. Showed him on the walking on the pier the night, started with all the case of beer in his hand. They were drinking before they went on this thing. And he was driving this boat. They were asking this stuff and he couldn't stop. Ran into some thing or the other, I can't remember what he ran. He ran into something. And everybody flew off the boat. Right? Everybody survived except one girl. She passed. And they found her body afterwards, right? So he was up for some kind of challenge in the courts about it because he got away with the whole thing about it. But people, of course, were hating on him because, well, he got no charges because he's a Murdaugh, right? And then there was another family friend who turned out to be, you could say gay. I think I could say that, right? Gay. But he didn't come out of it. He didn't know how to tell his mother. But he was close friends with the other son. And some mysteriously, whatever it is, he was found unalive at the side of the road, with assuming that he was in a vehicular accident. But it turned out all the autopsy should know. It didn't look like, so it looked as though he was taken out and placed there to look like an accident, right? Because I don't know if the elder son of theirs was that way too, or bi, or whatever it is, but something went on with the friendship and relationship there, and he ended up on the side of the road, no longer here. And then that's when the mother found out about his lifestyle and how he felt, and he was ashamed to tell her and whatever. Whole long story. So there were the young man's passing, the girl from the boat's passing, right? And then the maid's passing. That were coming, that they kept coming up all the time. Then of course they discovered that same day when the wife and son were were eliminated. They found out that same day. He found out that his business partners called him and challenged him, and they knew what he did with the money, how much money he had embezzled from them, right?
Right.
So the theory is, because he hasn't been convicted, that he went home and to take the eyes away from the money thing, because he was in some real trouble with that money thing.
Yes.
And his wife had left him, she threatened to divorce him. And that son is the son who was going to come in the courts again with that boat accident.
Right.
The speculation is that he went home and they sure they could not speak anymore, right? And then he
Right.
went and changed his shirt and came back to the scene and pretended that he discovered them. 911 call sounded a little bit, whatever, they usually sound all, whatever it is, and they came right after that. But it was so strange. One of them, panel checked, his shirt was so white. You went there and found these two people in pools of blood, try to turn your son over and all that, and where's the blood in your hands? Where's the shirt? A white polo or t-shirt. So clearly he washed his hands, clearly he fixed up whatever it is, right? And everything was fixed. And
Sure.
then the wife's phone was found on the side of the road somewhere in the neighborhood. So it was set up to look as though whoever took her phone and dropped it beside the street. But then
Right.
one thing in his deed, listen, it's a whole tralala. But the consensus in general is that he's guilty. But nobody, we could only say so, but he has to be convicted first, right? But there are some loopholes that could make him be acquitted. So it's a whole thing with this Murdaugh trial. But the behavior panel really got to me when I looked at the video. I said, look at this man's face. Really, you know that child trying to cry because he wanted your attention? Because I thought he broke down. He said, one is Scott Ross. Scott said, look at him, he took that piece of tissue. Right? Scott kept going back at tissue. He never used it. He said, and he wiped his eyes, put his hand by his eyes, and he felt his fingers hit his tears. Only when they said I went back and looked at it, I saw that. Because I'm thinking he wiped his eyes and just kind of moved his hand. No, he did it more than once. When he put his hand by his eyes, because remember he was trying to cry, right? Put his hand by his eyes, and he was feeling his fingers to see if it had water, if it was wet.
Wow.
So he wasn't sure if the tears were flowing. A whole bad act.
Wow.
Yes? Wow. Double wow. Wow. So I've been not looking every day, but some days I look at not the YouTubers so much, because YouTubers always have all kind of opinions about that. So some of them I will listen to, but I mainly listen to Law and Crime to see what's happening in that case. Him and the little young boy from Florida who took off his classmates, his 14-year-old school friend's life. 140 something stabs. And the cameras, but she left home in the middle of the night, her parents thought she was in her bed. She left home, so went to meet them. Apparently they were smoking, right? So they went, whatever, and they went to some riverside. The other friend went home, and he stayed there with her. The theory is that he tried to make a move on her, and she rejected him. But why did he have that big blade? What was that about? Right? So anyhow, her hand out a defensive move, so that she fought him off. 47 of the stabs were defensive, but she was trying to fight him off. Right?
Wow.
So the parents got up, and so the parents got up in the morning and couldn't have a breakfast. Why is Tristan not coming for breakfast? Gone to her room, she's not there. So they raised an alarm. That never happened before. She's 14. She doesn't leave home without having breakfast. And it was some either holiday or weekend. So I mean, where'd she go? So I looking for her. So I asked her around for her. And then somebody said they saw her with this one and that one. So no, I left her with his name is Aidan. I left her with Aidan last time, whatever. Went to Aidan's house. He's saying he didn't, whatever it is. His mother tried to wash his pants and his sneakers that had blood on it.
Oh, good Lord.
She arrested too. Okay? And you know what's so funny? Satan's a liar. Let me tell people, I'm going to interject here. Satan's a liar. He fools you and make you think you're doing the right thing. The house she was renting, Christine, the entire house of cameras. We saw her go up the step, go to his bedroom, pick up the pants that she saw it, came back out kind of like, a friend was went downstairs, talked to the friend, went back upstairs, collected the pants and everything, come back downstairs, go into the laundry room with it. Apparently the camera was located somewhere near the staircase, and you can see all her movement, including her going to wash the pants.
Wow.
So she went into I feel sorry for her, because she's a mother of a 14-year-old boy, right? So I think she went into like a blank space, and maybe let me see what I can do, right? Because girl's not alive. He probably told her that. Because she asked where was blood came from, or he probably gave her some excuse, and she didn't know. And then she probably found out they were looking for the girl who was last seen with him. Neighborhood
Right.
cameras saw them walking together, him and her walking together, going in one direction. And then afterwards, he walking back very quickly with his shoes in his hand, hustling going back. Police arrested him in the car, police car. He was doing a Snapchat and asking the question, have you all seen Tristan lately? Very cold. They took him into custody. He was arrested and they decided they would try him as an adult because of what he did. There's a way to try him. He has been trying. That's not. They're going to juvenile because that was horrible. She was horribly mauled, and then they found him the night in the lake where they were near where they were, right.
Right.
Right. They showed you a clip of him in one of the rooms. You know they have the interrogation rooms.
Yes.
Camera, and he knew the camera was in there. You see him. Demons in my head. What the demon said to me? Pretend that he crazy. Pretending he knew to pretend that he crazy. Watched too many movies, right? But a couple of days ago he went to court. Decided, you know what? Plead guilty. Confess everything. I did it. I did it. I did it. Said he did it so that her family would have to come to court and go through the whole thing because he had enough time to think about it. That's the reason why then okay, maybe he had a come to Jesus moment. But he's still in jail. So he's going to get possibly life or near life. He's only 14, so they give him 50 years, he would still be what, 64 when he come out, so he still might be able to walk, right? So I don't know. But those are some of the cases I'm following right now on thing. Do you have your take on any of this? I
Well,
know you don't have, right, yes. Go
well,
ahead, go ahead.
what I will say is that over the last few years, we have seen mental wellness just take a dive for whatever reason. Not saying that some people are not criminally, they have a leaning towards it. I did take a look at when we were getting ready for last week's conversation. I did take a look at the Murdaugh case and was just so, you add as you add all of these circumstances up and then you see, well, what could have been the motive? Someone is, and the thing is, if you're still young enough, you will always be somebody's child, right? So taking another's life is not the way. And then I looked at, and everything that you shared, I saw all of those. So everything just added up. I
Right.
wondered, and I wondered, what why would someone have that propensity for doing something so cold-blooded? Like, why? Money alone?
But
Fame
listen, my
alone?
answer to your why, let me answer your why. Right?
Yeah.
Let me answer your why. All of it is not selfishness. And Dr. Phil, I agree with Dr. Phil when he said that. All of it is not mental illness, I meant, right? Dr. Phil
No,
said that, and
no,
I believe
I'm not saying
a
I'm not
lot of
saying
it.
that
No,
it
no,
is.
I just add in a little part. A
Yeah.
lot of it, I think, is selfishness. When you find yourself in a corner, what do I do? So it's a kind of loveless kind of a person. Yeah, go
Mm,
ahead. Sorry. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's lack of love. Yeah.
and then you just blew me away with 147 stabs. 147 stabs, like after not even I can't even comprehend a young person. Where did they go in terms of mentally? 147 is a lot of stabs. Somebody's little girl is no longer with us. Why? 100, that just blows my mind. 147. 100 would have been, that would have blown my mind as well. So now, my heart is with the parents of the young girl. Their little girl is no longer with them.
Yeah.
One more child that has been taken out over the last, what, year, 2 years, added to all of these individual crimes, you're seeing an increase in mass shootings. Someone has just gone off the deep end, and children, adults are no longer with us.
Mhm.
It really is, it really is a very scary time. So, as Christians, you and I, we pray for not just ourselves and our families, but we also pray for the world.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you know, as a Caribbean person, I remember years and years and years ago, Cheryl, you will remember this. I think it was back in the 80s, 90s. A lot of our people in the Caribbean migrated to North America for quote unquote seeking out the better life, more opportunities. And here we are, 40 some years later, and we have a world that has been transformed into to being a very scary place. I can only imagine what it must feel like to be born there and to be scared. I'm guessing people are scared. I know certainly people of our ethnicity could be very scared, even to walk the streets, and that's a whole other conversation, right, Cheryl? But it's just a very, very challenging time. And so for me, while they're, law enforcement will do what they have to do, as parents, we do our best to support our kids and so on, and to give them the best kind of upbringing, and not fed by just material things, but just good values. It's a very, very scary time for parents, and this requires a lot of prayer, community work, talks similar to what we are doing now, having these conversations and just bringing an awareness to others in our society. That's it
It's
for me,
crazy.
girl.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's not crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. I was never one person who wanted to live and go to any better life, because I think Trinidad has very good life. We have good education, we have good thing, and we are happy people. Those who want to go for the better life, so what are we running back here all the time to get whatever it is? I always love my country. If you can't love where you come from, then there's something fundamentally wrong with you. So I'm not holders. I like to travel, love to see other parts of the world. But I will live nowhere else permanently but Trinidad and Tobago. I'll go travel, spend 3 months there and come back, whatever. But I like my home. This is my home. To me, this is my home. And I like my home. I'll defend my country with everything I have, because, like I told somebody yesterday, we don't have anybody walking into a building and killing 20 people at the same time with no shotgun. We have things, yes, we have crime, but those are isolated things where people. Last time, I was hearing gunshots somewhere. I almost in Bonnet Gardens or somewhere in the surrounding neighborhood. Sometimes we come and you hear it. It's not by your neighbor, it's not right in your neighborhood, but it's around, you can hear. A gunshot is a loud thing, right? It happens
Yes.
everywhere. But I don't think anybody will walk into Price Mart, right? No ex-employee, and kill all the employees inside there, right? Which is what happening across Europe. People are angry. So that's the last part of what we're going to talk about today. What is going on with all of this angry culture? And it starts with people like Rihanna fans, for example, Beyonce fans, for example, because they don't like what Rihanna fans don't like that Chris Brown cheering her on. So they're angry. How's that your business? How is that your business? Right? Beyonce fans upset because Harry Styles been album of the year. When Beyonce, of course, is clapping Harry Styles and they go hugging him up. But the fans outside, who Beyonce does not know, she not giving any food to them, any another ounce under them. They're the ones who upset. I don't even understand that. I really, it's kind of like a mystery to me. What is all this anger and thing, Like you might say something and I don't agree with you. That's okay. I can say something and you don't agree with me. That's okay, right? People upset for everything. There's a woman on our internet thing. But I hope, let me say personally, sorry. She felt so gendered. I am feeling so gendered. Why? Because somebody asked her, tell her, hello, young lady. Lady, I feel so gendered. And I'm saying, you know a song, I thought it was a Lewd who sang that song. What's the matter with the world? Has the world gone mad? I think that song needs to be an anthem right now. Because
Correct.
we do have genders. So, all right. When Pete, my first boy was small. He had his little curls, his long blondie looking curls in his hair, right? And you know the reason I cut it? Every boy, oh, that's a nice little girl, that's nice. Because the little cute face, you can't tell, and it's in black. So I think it's a girl. So I cut the hair, you know, young mother kind of, I don't know what my son I cut the hair off, right? It was time to cut the hair because he was talking and everything. So I trimmed the hair, right, fine. So, I mean, I just don't understand that. I mean, and this rant went on. And Mark watches something else. He played, he said, listen to it over and over. He doesn't stop. So I listened to her going, and he was like, okay, all right. She was upset because she felt gendered. So now you have to walk around with you can't long time when you play in school and primary, not even second primary school. Hey, oi, you, hey, oi. You dare not say boy, girl, or whatever. They say, hey, oi, because you don't you might say a boy, but he might want to be called something else. You might say a girl. So if I say, in order to avoid that, if I know your name, I'll walk up and start speaking to you, just like, or don't call your name until they start speaking to you, but your name might be changed too, right? Or just use my training thing and say, hey, you, hey, oi, oi, oi. So that when you look at me and say, you, hey, you, right? I hope you don't get offended for that because I don't know because there's no or you walk with a plus sign all the time. Let's say this is how I want to be addressed. Because it's put a lot of stress on people in the world. I will travel just now. When I travel, I keep my mouth shut. Because this is one topics I don't want to get involved in because I don't understand. And I'm not sure if all of it is mental health or if people think it's a fashion to do this and they're looking for popularity.
Right.
So they're getting popularity and to be in the know with everybody, that they're behaving like this.
Fame.
I don't know. Because I said, listen, it's your right. If you feel tomorrow when you wake up and you want to be a man, you could go ahead. And that's your right.
Yes.
I would not challenge you on that. But you get angry with me because I say, well, I don't understand because I know what I feel like and I don't know how I'll feel if I wake up and just speak to be a male. I don't understand that. Don't understand that, right? Surgery is a sort of painful thing. Right? When you people who are diabetic, who lose their limbs, like the toes and their legs and stuff, will tell you how much healing time it takes for that to happen. Thing. Women who have hysterectomy for whatever reason, it's so painful. But you as a woman will go and cut your breast off. A man will go and cut his penis off. Why? How painful is that? Why? How could you deny? It's like, it's like if you who are dark in complexion who using things to make your skin get lighter. Why changing who you are? To me, that's challenging God, right? God make you who you are. And that's who you are. Right? And I think those people can't love anybody else. Because they don't love themselves. And I say, well, I don't really understand it. You're hurting yourself. I had surgery once, and I can tell you something. I remember my mother came to me, she was like, oh my God. Because, she was getting older and she didn't realize stomach surgery, what it's like, guys. I am coming up to me, so I'm bent over. And she's like, oh my God. Oh, what did I do? Oh, and she was alarmed.
Correct.
But it took me months before I could stand up straight and
Yes.
walk away. Right? So how are you going to be taking up these vital parts of your body? Maiming yourself in the name of wanting to be somebody else. I don't know. And I'm not vexed with you. I'm not God. I ain't vexed with nobody at all. I don't think he vexed either. I will tell you flat if I don't understand. And if I don't understand, you want to get vexed, you're going to upset with me because I just don't understand. I don't understand. Right? I don't. Right? So we live in this, and so everybody's angry. They're upset. So they get on these TikToks and they sing and they say all kinds of stuff and that. And they stamp their feet and people thinking, denying them this and that.
And then you run the risk of being cancelled.
Well, but they can't really cancel a person like me. Can't really don't give a damn, right? What they do, they cancel people who are like famous and real coaches is there. Because have all those Instagram models and those influencers. No, let me tell you, they're doing. Listen, I don't know what they're doing to be famous besides being applicant everywhere. But they are the ones that there's one called Eliza Blue, who has been in the media plenty these days. Eliza BLEU is her last name. They said it's the fourth or fifth time she changed that last name. She got to saying, yeah, she got other people cancelled from Twitter. She got Elon Musk air. She got other people's air, right? To cancel YouTubers and stuff and things who were saying things about they weren't saying things about they were bringing up her old videos. She's one of those who first she said she was human trafficked. That's a sad thing that really happened. The other thing she said she's one of the people who believe that a 12-year-old could have consensual sex without an adult. At 12, she thinks he could say if he wants it or not. And there's a video with her saying it. And a grooming person she was talking to. And then she became because she wanted them to remove those things. So she went on a campaign. I think they have not realized what she's doing. And they kind of moving her away. Because she had a lot of people on her side. But not Me Too anymore, but all the Me Tooers who can't, I don't know, but she had a lot of people on her side just blindly listening to what she was saying. Don't know how. So I was like, how does she get so? I need to find out. Going to get famous overnight like that. All of a sudden, I never heard her name before. She all over the internet. Every YouTuber talking about her. I'm like, how do I do that? Tell me, right? I don't want to get famous to be taking off my clothes, but I mean, I want my YouTube channel to grow organically. So what do I do to make people like me? I don't know. There's somebody who comes in every week and kind of listen and then hops back off. And I just hope I'm saying it out loud. That is YouTube people checking this is what we're talking about. So they can kind of promote and push our videos. That's all I want you to do for me, YouTube. Please be kind, because I'm not paying those people who want me to pay them for me to get subscribers. I don't steal and I do not cheat. I'm not doing that. Right? I want my channel to grow organically. I think we have good topics, good subjects. I know we don't have the best equipment yet, but that will come.
That will come.
That will come. It can start with what you have, right? That's why we have these fancy devices that you can do almost anything on them, right? So when the time comes, and I do have the microphone and stuff already, and I have the camera in my cart ordered for the laptop. So it will get better. It will get better. As soon as the money comes, you understand? So push our video out, let people see us, and people get to know us, right?
Yeah, we really appreciate. You know, when you support the conversation, you get to also add to the conversation. And when you do that, it allows us to feel even more inspired to come on and to deliver conversations that really matter. So everybody who comes on, who subscribes, our gratitude is knows no bounds. We are very, very grateful. And we look forward to just having more conversations that are topical, relevant, and where you can too have a say in. Maybe you don't want to start your own channel. Maybe you just want a voice. You want someone to speak up on a topic that might be deeply personal to you, and once it's not controversial and get us kicked off YouTube, definitely, we want to be having those conversations and really supporting you in your own personal development, because that's what we're about. We are about helping women to become the best versions of themselves and thinking like Rihanna. Thinking, planning, strategizing, because we have plans and this world needs us now more than ever. So having those deep conversations where we can really make a difference, not just for Cheryl and I on this talk. And listen, guys, we talk to each other outside of coming on to this YouTube channel. We are very, very close friends. We laugh together, and we also have such a healthy relationship that even if we don't necessarily agree with each other, we agree to disagree and still love each other.
And we
So we
don't
hope that
cancel each other out. There's no
no, and
cancellation happening. No, no.
no. So we want to be the best examples of what a really true, authentic friendship is like. And we hope that we can be that for you. So that's pretty much what I have to say. So jump on,
Ah,
subscribe, mhm,
yes, go
and
ahead. Yeah,
share
no, finish.
and subscribe and share, because if you think that any topic that we have covered, even if you think, you know what, they kind of touched on the topic, but I wanted them to go a little deeper, well, say that to us. We want to be able to really go deep for you.
Right.
Yeah, Cheryl,
I,
as we
I,
wrap
I
up.
get I get paid for doing this, and I'm doing this for my YouTubers because I love to see women walking in stride. I want women to understand they're faithfully and wonderfully made, and they don't have to be. And I'm not saying they can be sexy. I love me sexy, but sexy has a limit. You know, there's a sexy, and then when they go over the next end is vulgar. We don't want to go over there. So I am so happy that Rihanna is setting this standard. And let me tell you, for those who live in Trinidad and Tobago, and abroad, if you want to come to May 13th, 2023, be coming here to the conference. It's a VIP day for women. We're going to have motivation, inspiration, poetry, MC, dance, fashion. You're going to have a full day, a full buffet lunch. You're going to have a full day among other like-minded women who want to just continue to grow in their life. And I'll announce the venue soon. And so the carnival is over. After the carnival visit is finished, so I'm start marketing properly. That carnival thing. People don't take you on, don't pay any mind attention when carnival is on. The people who not even
For
playing carnival,
real.
they don't remember, right? So they just say that,
Right.
right? So, right? And Christine can be, as I put my Linktree there, I don't know if you could see that. Yes, you can. I'm going to try and see if I can put Christine's one up there too. I think I can, but I wasn't sure. There's a new offer this week. Every time I go come to stream, they give a new offer. You can put a headline.
Nice.
So I put mine up and I said, okay, let me see if I can how that can happen. But Chris, any one of us, you can get me on my Linktree there, cheryldianspeaks, and Christine Linktree, Christine Francois, spell it her way, her name is spelled on the screen. That's who she is. And please contact us. We'll be happy. On my Linktree, I have a 30-minute free session. You can call, you can contact me, and we can have a one-on-one, a tete-a-tete, and see what you want, chat about. If I need to refer to somebody else to have something, done or whatever it is, I would love to connect with all of you, any of you, all of you. Okay? So please be safe. Because we talking next Monday, right? Because we are paying for that. Monday, we can do it on YouTube.
We are
Right? Yeah?
going to be
We are
right
going to be here
here.
next Monday. Right. Carnival Monday when people in town whining, twerking, walking up, we be home doing this, right? Because we don't stay safe. All right? So we'll see you all next Monday, same channel. We will be right here. Okay?
Okay. And happy Valentine's Day again.